Hey guys, it's Paul. I'm going to give you a full training on what I use for my Discourse forum. So if you come to paulforum.com, you see that I use a Discourse forum. I've got adverts on there. I've got some links at the top. In fact, I'm going to go through each one. I'm going to put here links in the header. I'm going to go through here and show you exactly how to do it definitively. How I now use it after maybe a year of doing different things, and I'm happy to come to a point where this is, I think, a definitive guide for the best way for you to run your Discourse forum. We're going to be using DigitalOcean as the host. I think it's the best pricing. I think it's the easiest way to set it up. And I mean, you may want to look at something like discoursehosting.com, which is $20 a month, but I think you've got to pay extra for plugins and stuff like that to be added, whereas DigitalOcean, you can do it yourself. You can have backups. Using Mailgun, we can get the emails and everything set up. What I used to use was Gmail or G Suite. It no longer works with G Suite. They don't allow third-party apps to send emails. I use SendGrid. The problem with SendGrid I found was after the initial month's trial, you would have to pay for emails at a certain rate. And also with SendGrid, if your IP address changed from where you were logging in, you couldn't get into your account without it being a complete ball ache to get in. So that annoyed me as well. So it's another reason I don't use SendGrid. So a lot of people will recommend Mailgun and DigitalOcean as the definitive option. So that's why I use it. So, you know, second part, just let me know why you're here. I've got here to say hello. Why are you here? Why are you watching this video? What are you trying to get out of it? What are you going to be launching? Obviously, you're going to be creating a Discourse forum, or you're looking into it. Just pause me and write a comment. If you're in YouTube, what you'll notice in the YouTube description is I'll put chapters, start times for all of these different lectures or these different lessons. If you're in the training course on my website, I'll have broken it out into separate lessons so that you can see, you know, you can jump to how do I add a logo, or how do I add header images or header information. But just at this point, just pause me, tell me why you're here, tell me what you're doing, and anything I can help with, I always will try and help. So let's get into it. I'm going to use Mailgun. I'm going to show you how to log in and set up Mailgun first, because when you set up your Discourse on DigitalOcean, it's going to ask you for settings from Mailgun. So we're going to log into Mailgun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Happy Me Games website as the go-to forum here. So I've got a few other forums running. If I go to Happy Me Games, just to show you, it's just a games website I've got. If you know me from my other videos, or you're watching on YouTube, you can see I'm Happy Me Business. So I've got Happy Me Games. I'm going to put a forum on this, so it's going to be forum.happymegames.com. But if you want to make it, you know, just the main forum to your website, you don't have to have a subdomain. But for me, I'm going to, in this example, use forum.happymegames.com. okay, so the first thing I need to do is set up a domain to allow emails from that domain, right? So I'm going to go to domains, I'm going to add new domain, and it says here domain name, we recommend like mg.mydomain.com. What that does is it doesn't interfere with, you know, if I'm already sending happymegames.com emails out from the primary domain name, it won't mess about with the emails if you make it mg.mydomain.com or something like that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it mg.happymegames.com. So then it won't interfere with anything that's already set up. It's now going to say you need to add this information to your DNS settings for that domain, right? So it gives you all your settings, and you're going to add this information, and that will verify that you're allowed to send from, that Mailgun is allowed to send from your domain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into GoDaddy, I'm going to go find my domain, so wherever your hosting is, click on, find your domain and go to DNS settings. However you're going to get there, manage your DNS. So whatever hosting you're currently using, you're looking to get to the DNS settings, right? So what I'm now looking for is I've got to add all this information. So here, I've got to add a text field that's mg.happymegames.com and then this. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to add a text. And the host is mg. There's the text. I'm going to change the custom to 600 or whatever little as you can be. And save. So that's the first one. The next one's a bit longer, but again, now this one's mg.domainkey.mg. So what you'll find is you don't need the last part, you need the front part as the host. So you're going to go text, copy in that mx.domainkey.mg. Happy Me Games is already set as that domain. Then paste in the text and save. Now we're going to do the MX record. So we're going to do an MX record that is for MG and a priority 10. So you want to do add MX record. This is the mail MG and paste that first one. Priority of 10. I make it change. The minimum you can do with GoDaddy is 600 seconds, which is what, 10 minutes. Second one is add mx, host is mg, points to this one, priority 10, custom to 600, just picks it up faster. And then the final, you're going to have add a CNAME that is email.mg and then mailgun.org, right? So this one's a CNAME, the host is email.mg and then mailgun.org. I believe this is so you can log in later. I never use it though. Customize that to 600 and then save. Oh, don't bin. Save. And that's set up. That's Mailgun happy. It might take 5 or 10 minutes for it to verify. You don't need to do any of this, but check DNS records. Here, you're going to click check DNS. Some of them may take straight away. Oh yeah, they did. So the CNAME's not quite taken yet. But once that CNAME's happy, you are in and ready to set up DigitalOcean. And this is the information that we needed. We needed the SMTP host name. We needed the default login. The API. No, we needed this password, right? So next we're going to go into DigitalOcean and set up that part. Just before I show you how to set up DigitalOcean, I'm going to mention that I am a partner and I do get a bit of credit if you sign up with my partner link. So if you go to DigitalOcean, go to pnuk.co DigitalOcean. That is my partner link, and it gives me a bit of credit. I don't get any cash, but they will give me some credit for your sign up, which helps me continue my free training and forums. So pnuk.co/DigitalOcean. Thanks. Right, so I've just verified again and now my CNAME's taken, second time about a minute later. So I'm going to log into DigitalOcean. You'll see that I've got 3 forums that I already run from there. And you're going to create a droplet. This is where your forum's going to be hosted. Go to one-click apps, Discourse. Now, what you can do is they've offered a lot of normal packages here. It depends which one you want to use. I generally use these $15 a month ones, and it does seem to change on a daily basis. This, during setup, you want to use the faster one. If you don't think you're gonna have many people coming in, and you want to downgrade later, and I'll show you how to resize it. Actually, resize. DigitalOcean droplet, right? I'll show you how you can upgrade and downgrade depending on what you've got. But I go with the $15 a month one. It seems to work fine. It's fast, and I don't have any problems. When I've tried it on the $5 a month from start, the setup fails. The setup slows down. So you want to do it. It actually doesn't matter because you're not going to get charged. You're going to get charged for how many hours it's being used. So you don't get charged $15 straight away. You get charged on that prorated day, and then you can downgrade later. But on your setup, you want to use a fast enough version. So I'm going to click the $15 a month, 2 CPUs. I'm going to enable backups. It's basically 20% more on the bill, but you want to enable it because you obviously, if it goes down, you want to be able to get back into it. Wherever your main community people are going to be from, you want to put the data center as close to them. So obviously I'm in England, but I might say the main people that will log in will be in New York, but you know, I'll put London just because obviously it sounds like I'm here. I'd click monitoring on here and leave everything else, and then I'd call it Happy, give it a name just so you'll know it, Happy Me Games Forum, and create. So now you will get a little line saying it's going to create your forum. Maybe takes a couple of minutes, and then you'll get an email forwarded to you with your details. So I'll just pause you while we do that. So it took about a minute to send. My voice just gone. What you got is now you've got an IP address for that forum, and you've got an email. I've got an email from Mailgun saying Happy Me Games is set up, and now I've got an email saying you can now set up your forum for Happy Me Games forum. I've got an email saying here's the IP address and here's the password to log in. So now what you want to do is go to terminal. On Mac it's utilities terminal. On Windows I think you just type in the start, just find terminal. I'll put a link to maybe finding how to do it on a Windows. Obviously I ain't got a Windows computer, so I'm not sure. So what I want to do is I'm going to put in this IP address, right? So to log in, I go to terminal, I do SSH root at, and then the IP address. It's going to say, are you sure? Yes. What is your password? Your password's here. Right, it's going to give you some spiel of what's been involved. Change your password, so you put your password in again. Now you put in a new password that you'll remember. Try and do it again the same. And you did. Now you're in. And it's saying you have to have information ready for you to set your forum up. You need the SMTP settings, which is what we've got from Mailgun. Our SMTP settings are up here, right? You need this now. So now we're ready to set up the platform. So we're going to press enter to start. Enter your administration email address. So mine is my email. Where do you want the forum to live? I want it to be forum@happymegames.com. SMTP, so we know it's here. SMTP mailgun.org, right? You can copy it and paste it. SMTP port with Mailgun doesn't matter, but you want to make it 25. We're gonna close it out later. It doesn't ask for that information. Username is here, the postmaster. So this is going to log you in. Password's here, default password. Make sure you copy the right part and enter. It won't show you it. Synchronizing if you run to script. So it's doing its little bit. Enabling. Now the good thing at the moment, and every time I seem to set up Discourse, it seems to do something a little bit different, but it should ask for to set up a user. Now you'll be prompted to set up your admin password. When prompted, put Paul next and as for the admin, right? But you have to press enter, it's not ready. Right, email, password. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Email, Paul@PaulNicholson. So this is now you setting up a user in your Discourse forum. It's a better way that they've done it. Because before you had to do it on the initial wizard, and if you if you're, I didn't put password in, I should just stop talking while I'm doing this bit. If you're, I usually want to create username, yes. So Discourse is now ready. It's saying it's happy. If you go to this IP address, it will now be happy, right? It's going to give me some sort of wizard, right? So now it's set up. What it used to do before is it would put you into the wizard, but if the email stuff didn't work, you could never get through the wizard. So now I've got this IP address working, right? So I've done the initial setup. I've done setup Mailgun. I've done, and now I'm going to do the actual setup and test. Okay. Right, what I need to do, I've just added this in, DNS point to the forum. So what we've got at the moment is an IP address. What we need to do is make that forum.happymegames.com, right? So what I do is I go back to my DNS settings in GoDaddy or wherever you are, and I add an A record that the host is forum or whatever yours is, if it's connect or discourse or chat or whatever it is, you're going to point it to that IP address. If it's your main site, you would just put @ here. So if your forum is myforum.com, you would just leave this as @. But if your forum as I am happymegames.com or connect you need to put in here whatever that is, right? So that now points my forum.happymegames to that IP address. It'll take a while for it to set up. I'm not sure it'll come straight away. Happy me. Yeah, you have to give it 5 or 10 minutes for it to set up. So I'll go back and for now, and I'll log in. So that user should have allowed me to get in. So let's see if that username's set up properly. If I can remember password. So I'm now happily in and logged in. I can move around my forum. You know, I can click on things. The forum's set up to, it's functional, which is a really cool way it now does it than it used to, because you couldn't get this far before. You'll see up here the little speed that your page is loaded at. That'll depend on how much you're paying for it on that DigitalOcean. If you're using that $5 a month, it may be up to 2,000 milliseconds, but you want your forum to be as fast as possible. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into setting up. I'm just going to wait for that for the domain to take, and then I'm going to go into initial setup and testing. Right, just while I'm waiting for that domain name to take, it's taking a little bit longer than normal. I'm going to show you how to do the SSL setup and the Adsense advert setup. So what you want in your forum, if I open another page here, if I go to Pull Forum, well, you see my website secure, right? What you want in the forum is a secure tag at the top. When you first set it up, it won't be secure. It'll just say HTTP and that'll be it. And there won't be a green secure lock up here, right? There also won't be adverts. Now, if you want to run adverts on your page, you need to add a plugin as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that next, right? So what I've got is, here's the Adsense plugin. If you go, I'll try. What you have to do is you have to add this line of code to a file. So when you come back to your terminal, you're going to do cd/var/discourse, right? And then you're going to do nano containers app.yml, and that'll open up your Discourse config file. To turn the SSL on, to make it secure, you need to remove this hashtag from this line and this line. So you see it there? Uncomment these two lines if you wish to add Let's Encrypt HTTPS, right? So now come down, you want to find, further down it'll say here, if you added Let's Encrypt template, uncomment below, right? So you want to take away this Let's Encrypt account email and put your email address, right? paul@paulnicholson.com. Now, that, when we run it, will make the site secure. I'm going to also uncomment this SMTP port 25 because Mailgun doesn't need it. It's a good time to do it, so just uncomment. That means it'll ignore that row. And then when you go down to plugins here, this is where you're going to add any plugins you've got. And for me, it's this one. This line here. This git file. Well, file line with a git on the end. So now I've got this plugin added. And if you're going to add any other plugins, this is where you would add it. You just add the line of code and it knows to go and get it, right? So now you do Control X. You want to be careful, make sure you've done it all right. Yes to save. Now you're going to type git pull, and it'll pull the latest information. I just run it again to make sure it's happy, and then I do /launcher rebuild app, and that will rebuild the whole doc droplet and tell it to make sure that I want a secure forum, and I'm going to add that plugin. And it will take 3, 4, 5 minutes for this to run. While you're doing that, the forum will be down. So it's good to do it the first time you do it, because you'll find that your forum, even though I'm not sure, yeah. So now this is good because it means the DNS has taken. The forum will be down when you relaunch that Docker, when you relaunch the app. While it's doing this, so you want to do it at a quiet time. Obviously, at this point, you're doing it on initial setup. But if you want to come and add a plugin later or change settings later that are involved in that app.yml file, when you rebuild the app, it will take you down for 5 minutes. Okay, so just be careful with that. So I'm going to pause you until it's done. Generally, if it does it too quickly, you will find there's an error somewhere. Alright, so it took 4 or 5 minutes. What you'll get now is this command prompt again to say it's finished. You shouldn't have any errors. You shouldn't have anything showing that's a problem. If you do, you're going to have to troubleshoot them. So when I go back and refresh forum.happymegames, depending on how quickly you do it, it sometimes gives a 502 error. As it's still, even though it's finished here, it's not fully completed. But it loaded, and now you'll see up here that the website is secure. It's not grey. It's got a secure, right? You have to log in again. Should have told it to remember my login, shouldn't I? The admin password has to be like 15 characters long. That's why it's so long. So now you're set up. Now you've done the back end. You can close your terminal. You're not going to need to go back in here now for the rest of this training. You can close it. You've set up your Discourse forum and it's secure, and you've got all the plugins that you need at this point ready. So now what we're going to do is talk about the initial setup. How do I set up my forum? And it's a good thing now that you can go up to the top here, do /wizard. Right, and that runs the setup. So welcome to your Discourse. You can change the language. Obviously I'm going to do it in English. What's your community net game? This is a Happy Me Games forum. Describe your community in one session. Discussion forum all about Happy Me Games. Right, I'm going to copy that because the next one it says I added another description, which you can by just paste it in. Now you can decide, do I want it to be public or private? Do I want people to have to log in to see the content, or do I want it to be discoverable by Google? That's going to be up to you. Is it a private or a public forum? It's pretty obvious, right? Mail address for me is my admin. General contact web page. So if you've got a contact page, mine's, it isn't this, but you put in your contact detail, automated messages. Do you want them to come from you or the system? I leave it as system because you don't want people replying to you for system messages. Put in your company name. Mine is Happy Me Limited. Put in your company website, happyme.com. Oh, no, put a space. Theme, you've got option of white or dark. I think 99% will use the light theme. Now uploading your logo, you're going to want to put in a logo. Where have I got? What have I got? Have I got an Happy Me Games logo? I never thought of this bit. I'm just going to put in my Happy Me logo for now, just to not slow you down. It will resize. Happy Me, I think this one should resize. Yeah, that's okay. Now a little icon. I've got a small PNG. PNG is the one with no background, and again the favicon. What's going to show up in this top corner? I go back to that small PNG. Happy Me Final. Wasn't that one, was it? Where are you? Final small. It's just a bit smaller. It loads. You don't want to put big files in here because it'll slow your website down. You want it as small as possible without losing too much quality. So that's an icon. What do you want to show on the home page? You know, categories only, categories and featured topics, or categories and latest. I generally lose it at category and latest topics. What emoji set do you want to use? And then you can invite your staff if you've got any. I haven't got any, so now you're all set up. So when I go back to done, I've now got the Happy Me logo. I've got, if I go to some file, there isn't anything long enough really, is there? I tell you which one. There you go, look. So when you scroll down, the logo changes. The logo up here is happy. When I go into admin and settings, you're going to want to change this notification email. This isn't. This hasn't changed. You're going to want to put in whatever it is. I'm going to put in happymegames.com, right? This used to be a default option that's set straight away. But what do you want the emails to come from? I'm going to put in whatever email it's going to send from, and then I'm going to go here and I'm going to test an email to me. Because before you can invite people or they can use it, you have to know that your email is working. So it's sent. And now I'm kind of hoping that if everything is happy, I'm going to get an email. Come on. Give it 5 or 6 more seconds. I did save that, didn't I? Dashboard, settings, contact email. Did that change? Oh no, it's this one. Happy Me Games, yeah. So I'm happy with that. It should have worked. Oh, there it goes. It does take a while. But now, you know, the email's sent, so you know now that you can go to the next stage of starting to invite members to your forum. So we're going to invite users. Oh, so just to let you know that wizard, when you go upstairs to /wizard, you can do this at any time. And what you want to do possibly is you might want to go to wizard logos. If you want to change this image, it's easier to do it through the wizard than it is through the settings, because when you go to settings and you come here to logo, you've got to put a URL, which would make you have to host it somewhere else, and it would have to be a secure link to change it. Whereas if you actually just go wizard, wizard steps /steps/logos, you can just upload an image and it'll work. It's the easiest way to change the image rather than, as I said, hosting it somewhere else, which was a bit of a pain before. So what we're going to do is we're going to invite users. So we're going to go to users, send invites. Now if you've got a list of emails then you can bulk invite them. If you've just got a spreadsheet, all you need is the first column to be all the email addresses, and then just send it. But I'm going to just send, let's send a test at paulnicholson.com. Send an invite, right? So this will then send, I've got a catch-all email, so it'll basically send it to me. Let's just, there's it is, look, Happy Me Games. Paul invited you to Happy Me Games discussion forum. And then you would just click this link and set up a forum. I'm just going to go here to a different browser because I'm already logged in on that one. Paste in that link, and now it's saying test, set a password, accept invitation. So now you've got your first person in. They get a little walkthrough, telling them how to use it, telling them what to use. They don't see obviously everything you see because you've got private group, private forums just for your staff if you want. So they just see this basic information at the start. But that's how easy it is to invite a user. You're just going to go admin, users, send invites, and then send an invite. Put an email address in and fire it. Bulk invite from file. So that's how easy it is to send a invite. Right, so we've obviously got a pretty blank forum here. What we want to do next is add some categories. So you just go here, add category. You go, I don't know, Happy Me Games General. Pick a colour, whatever colour you want. New category. It's going to open up and say an about, and it always defaults this information. So you want to change this to just, Happy Me Games General Chat category. And that's a pinned post, so anybody who gets there can see what this category is about. You can add another one, so that obviously puts it there. As it gets more, if you leave it in default setting, as it gets more, more posts or most topics, I spelled general wrong, didn't I? It'll move further up, or you can make it where you set the order of this, right? So let's just add another one. Let's say sports games, and I can make it so that the main category is the category we've just done. Again, you'd have to edit that topic, and look, you got here Happy Me General Sports Games. I should probably change that to spell it right, shouldn't I? General. You might want to change the slug. I might have another one that's top scores. New category. Edit the category info. Tell us your game's top scores. So you've now got top scores and Happy Me Games. If you want to change the category order, then you can go to settings, type in category, and one of them, if checks arrange categories to be fixed order. So you want to tick this box, fixed category positions. Tick that, and then when you go back here, you'll get reorder categories, and you can tick here and go down and say, I want this to be at the top. Not if you put 1, put 0. Put it at the top. Put this at -2. Fixed positions, save order. Right, now when I refresh the page, top scores is at the top. The sport. I moved the sports. That doesn't matter, does it? I moved the subcategory instead of Happy Me. Yeah, instead of this. So -1 that to the top. Fixed positions and save, and that will now put it at the top. So you can reorder your categories and you can put them in however you want. And obviously, let's talk about topics. You can just create a new topic. You can paste in information or type in something. Let's go to, I don't actually know if it'll render from Happy Me Games. I'm not sure what the link would say. So if I went to a game here, maybe Ships and Monsters, I can just grab the URL. I'm not sure what it'll do. If I can just paste the URL in, and it will look to try and get information from that page. Will it work? Yeah, it did. So it'll give me a link to Happy Me Games. Tell us your top scores. Put in top scores. And that now, there's a link to the game and tell us your top scores, and people just say, you know, 120. In fact, I don't think it'll let me put in that. You've got to put at least 20 characters. Today, beat your score. So you can just paste a link. If you were already in top scores, when you do new topic, it would go to that topic. You could tag people in topic. So I could go pick another game. Easy Fitness. It's not really a game, I guess. It's nice and fast, Happy Me Games, isn't it? I could go here, paste in this. It'll pick it up eventually. It's just Happy Me Games is very slow. I can tag somebody, so I can go add test and tag that user. You could do with using this. Oh yeah, title's not long enough. happymegames.com. So I can tag people in topics. Obviously, you can allow notifications. I'm not going to, but I've got a little link here now saying Paul's just tagged you in. You can give it a like. Yeah, for sure. I'll start it next week. Cheers at Paul, and tag back. So there's a lot you can do, and again I've got a notification here saying you've been tagged back in, and you've got a like. So creating topics really easy. In my forum or in my training, I'll go into deeper things of functionality. I don't want this video to get crazy long. Right, so now you're basically up and running and flying. There's loads of things you can do. I'm not going to show you every single thing in this video. What we're going to do now is look at resizing that droplet. So if I go back to Happy Me Games in DigitalOcean, I may think, you know, at the start you may not have a lot of forum access. You might want to say I want to make it bigger or smaller, and you can go to resize and change the sizing, right, to make it whatever you need it to be. What you first need to do though, you can't just click and resize. What you have to do is power off your forum. So obviously do it when it's a quiet time for your forum, and it'll power you down. Once it's powered down, you can resize it. Okay, so I go to resize now. CPU and RAM, so I can move it up or down. I don't know why it's not offering me to go down to the $5 version. But or you can move it up. You would just basically click. So say I'm going to move it to this one. It's one CPU, and then resize. You just click resize. It will change the hosting to whatever size you want. I'm not sure why the 5-month and $10 a month version is not showing. Then it'll resize it. Take a while, again, maybe take a minute to do. But once it's done, you're going to power it back up. I'm just going to wait a quick second. Come on. I nearly never clicked it, but... Alright, I'll just wait for it to do and I'll come back. Alright, so it resized. I'm going to now power it back up. And you've changed the pricing on the on your plan. So just power it back up. So basically power it down, change the pricing plan, change the size of your droplet, and then you're back up. It may take a little bit of time on this end, just to double click back into place. Come on, baby. Yeah, so it's just going to go down for a bit while it does reboot. So you're going to have to wait for it to come back online. It will come back online. And then the final thing I'm going to show you is how to delete it. If you get to a point where your forum isn't taking off, you thought it were a good idea, but people aren't coming in and giving you what you need or getting involved, then you just click destroy. Go to here, Happy Me Games. Go to your applet and then destroy. Okay, so don't go to Happy Me Games forum. I've just deleted it. So that's it gone. So, cradle to the grave, how to set up your forum using Mailgun and DigitalOcean. Come and visit me at paulnicholson.com. I will have in the links below, I'll put a Discourse forum where I'll break out that training into separate areas. In my forum, I'll be answering your Discourse questions. There's already a Discourse category, which is what brought me to put this together. I'm pretty sure there is one. Campaign, obviously there's a few. GDPR. Well, I'm pretty sure that I did a Discourse thing. Maybe I didn't. Let's have a look. Discourse. Oh yeah, there's a Discourse training card. Sorry, just Discourse training. So there's already a few Discourse videos in there and what you need to do, how to fix it. And any questions, jump in. It's free. Ask me questions. I'll help you. In any way I can do to get you up and running. I hope this has helped, and I hope you think about Discourse. You can see I use it and I really like it, so it's well worth playing around with. You get charged pro rata on DigitalOcean, so you get charged day by day, even though it's a total over the month. So it's not going to cost you a lot just to play around for a week. And if you hate it, then you just delete it. It's going to cost you $2 or $3. So, hope that was fun. Any questions, as always, ask below, wherever you're watching it. Send me a message. I'm always here to help. Thanks, guys. Cheers.